Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, beta.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, mom. Good morning. How is everyone doing?
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Aditya. Okay, is File able to unmute herself today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Where did we leave the class yesterday? Which topic we were doing?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, we have to start commercial agriculture.
Of agriculture and
Commercial agriculture.
Okay, we have to start from commercial agriculture. Fine. So let me also connect to the second device.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, beta Vitushi. Chaliye, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, we have to start from commercial farming. See, we all know commercial, as the name tells, that commercial is something which is done for
Earning money and
Ma'am, earning profit.
yes,
Profit.
earning. Very good, for earning profit. So when we talk of the commercial agriculture, we categorize it into various categories. There are different types of cultivation that is undertaken under the commercial agriculture. Like we have extensive agriculture, we have plantation agriculture, we have mixed farming, we have pastoral farming, we have dairy farming, we have orchard farming. And then the horticulture also we have in this. Do you know what is horticulture, class?
Ma'am, which?
What is horticulture? Horticulture.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
no, ma'am.
Oh, ma'am.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Ma'am.
See, this culture word, it goes with agriculture. Then we have sericulture. What is sericulture, you know?
No, ma'am.
Seriously?
No,
Fishes.
ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm rearing
Rearing of?
Fishes.
fishes.
No, sericulture. Silkworms, mulberry leaves,
Ma'am, which gives silk.
silk.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we have this.
Apiculture is for fishes.
No,
Yes, ma'am.
no, pisciculture.
Pisciculture.
Ma'am, apiculture is for honeybees.
honeybees.
Honeybees. Yes, apiculture is for honeybees. Then we have VT. And then we have horti. See, all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, when you add culture to it, it gives you a sense. Like when we say agriculture, we all know that it is a science, an art of cultivation on the soil, raising crops, rearing livestock, and it is also called as farming. ठीक है, इसको cultivation भी बोलते हैं, farming भी बोलते हैं, agriculture भी बोलते हैं, right? Then
Yes, ma'am.
when we
Okay,
talk of
madam.
sericulture is basically when we rear the silkworms, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I think in science you have
Yes,
done
ma'am.
this sericulture, that how on the
Yes, ma'am.
mulberry
And
leaves.
pisciculture
Yes,
too.
ma'am.
Yes, pisciculture.
Pisciculture, sericulture.
Yes, very good.
And ma'am, there was one more culture we learned about. It was of honeybees. Ma'am, I don't remember
Ma'am,
its name, but
apiculture.
yes,
Apiculture.
ma'am, apiculture.
ठीक है, चलिए. Then this pisciculture, see, agriculture is about crops plus rearing. Sericulture is silkworm. Crops and rearing. ठीक है, sericulture is about silkworm rearing. Pisciculture is about breeding of fishes. Viticulture, do you know what is viticulture, class?
Grapes.
Yes, yes, the cultivation of grapes. ठीक है, then what is horticulture? Anybody in the class? What is horticulture?
Flowers.
Flowers and
Ma'am, fruits, vegetables, and
yes. See, horticulture includes all the three things: fruits, veggies, and flowers. ठीक है? When we say horticulture, we are talking about fruit cultivation, vegetable cultivation, and the flower cultivation, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we really cultivate flowers? Do we really grow flowers?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
For household purpose or for commercial purpose?
Ma'am, we can say for both.
For
Yes,
both.
both.
But then,
For because to get saffron, we also plant flowers. This
Yes.
comes in
commercial.
yes,
agriculture.
Ma'am,
And
opium is
we
also
also
made from
grow
flower.
crops, mint.
Ma'am,
Yes.
opium and
Opium, yes. What else? Indigo, opium. You know, poppy flower. Have you heard of this name of poppy flower?
Yes, ma'am. It's a red color flower.
yes, ma'am.
It comes in two colors, two shades, red and white. And you know, seeds of poppy, they are used as a drug. They are used as a drug in some of the medicines, right?
okay, ma'am.
Chaliye. So this was about the various culture that we have: agriculture, sericulture, pisciculture, viticulture, and the horticulture. And one you said apiculture, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This apiculture is about the fishes, right? No, sorry, it is about the honey.
Ma'am, honeybees.
Honeybees. Chal. Okay, coming to the commercial farming. See, when we say commercial farming, we are actually talking about a system of cultivation, a system of farming where the profit motive is involved, where the cultivation is done majorly to earn maximum profit out of less inputs, right? हम कोशिश ये करते हैं ना कि कम चीज लगा के हम ज्यादा जो है प्रोड्यूस कर सकें, तो ये कमर्शियल फार्मिंग में एक्चुअली हमारा मोटिव यही होता है, that we earn maximum money, right? Then whatever is grown in the commercial farming, it is actually grown for the markets. Whatever is produced, whatever is reared, whether it is animals, whether the fruits are grown, whether the flowers are grown, whether the mixed cropping part is done, whether the rearing, exclusive rearing of animals is done, everything is done for the profit motive. The main motive, main target behind this kind of cultivation is making money, right? And getting profit.
Yes, ma'am.
Right now, when we talk of the various types of cultivation in commercial this thing agriculture, extensive agriculture. Now extensive means on large scale, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
this large scale, see where the population concentration is more, we cannot have large individual farms. Can we have them? No, not possible.
No, ma'am.
Yes, it's not possible. So this extensive agriculture is generally prevalent in those places, those areas, those regions where the population is not very, concentration is not very high, and easy land tracts are available, right? So this extensive farming, it is particularly done in those regions where the population concentration is very less, so that the land, huge land areas are available for the cultivation, right? Most of the mid-latitude grasslands that we have, there in those mid-latitude grasslands, we have this extensive agriculture practiced, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Now, what are the features of this extensive agriculture? In this extensive agriculture, all modern methods are used, right? Then large land areas are there, huge land areas are there, fine. Then whatever is done, it is done with the help of the machines. These extensive farming is a completely mechanized farms. These are completely mechanized farms where all the modern machines are used for cultivation purposes, right? Right, class?
Okay, ma'am.
Then, like, I think if I don't know whether you people I have told or not, like when we talk of the tea and coffee cultivation, we say that it is a labor intensive cultivation, plantation, or that the cultivation that is undertaken in this plantation cultivation. The type is labor intensive, where more of manual labor is required, whereas in the extensive farming, manual labor is very less, whereas the machines are more, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Then wheat is the main crop in the extensive farming that we have, because we all know that wheat is something that is consumed throughout the year, throughout the world. Everybody eats bread or the rotis that are made of the wheat flour, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now, when we talk of the extensive farms, see, when we talk of the production, see, it says that the per hectare production is less, whereas total production is always high.
What is per hectare, ma'am? How much area it is?
I'm coming to that. See, suppose this is a land. So the total production of the land is always high, but if you calculate the production of a particular part per hectare, it is comparatively low. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है, ये वाला पोर्शन की हम बात करें, अगर यहाँ पे जो जितना भी प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, उस प्रोडक्शन को अगर टोटल प्रोडक्शन से आप कंपेयर करोगे, तो आप ये पाओगे कि पर हेक्टेयर प्रोडक्शन लेस होता है और ओवरऑल प्रोडक्शन जो है हमेशा हाई जाता है. ठीक है? ठीक है?
Okay, ma'am.
चलो.
Ma'am, how much area comes under a hectare?
How much area comes under a hectare? Anybody in the class who would tell? You do maths, no?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, बताओ. Anybody?
Ma'am, we have studied till kilometers on.
ये अगर हम इस कैलकुलेशन में जाएंगे तो बड़ी लेंदी हो जाएंगी। जैसे 1 हेक्टेयर में आपके 4 बीघे आते हैं। अब वो 4 बीघा क्या होता है? बीघा क्या होता है? बीघे, 1 बीघे में कितने आते हैं? हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ दिस बीघा?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Don't
ma'am.
know how much it is.
1 हेक्टेयर इज ठीक है। और 1 बीघे में कितने आती है?
Ma'am, 1 hectare is 0.01 kilometer.
0.01
01 kilometer.
अब
Okay.
किलोमीटर स्क्वायर।
मतलब इसको आप जैसे
Yes, ma'am,
हम
kilometer.
जो लैंड एरिया है उसको स्क्वायर किलोमीटर्स में मेजर करते हैं ना। अलग अलग यूनिट्स होती है मेजर करने की। वैसे जनरल हम अगर करते हैं तो पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर में करते हैं, है ना। तो उसके अगर उसमें अगर आप देखो तो उसकी यूनिट्स कितनी होती हैं। इसको यार्ड्स में, आप बहुत सारी चीजों में इसको आप कन्वर्ट करके देख सकते हो। 1 मिनट बेटा, बहुत सारी चीजों में आप कन्वर्ट करके देखते हो। तो 1 हेक्टेयर को अगर हम आप एक बहुत प्रिसाइज उसमें करें तो कितना बताया आपने?
0.01 kilometer square.
यही तो,
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है। चलिए, चलिए ये एक्सटेंसिव फार्मिंग क्लियर।
यस मैम।
चलिए, कमिंग
Yes,
टू
ma'am.
प्लांटेशन। हाँ, कमिंग टू द प्लांटेशन कल्टीवेशन। ये प्लांटेशन एग्रीकल्चर जो आपका होता है, इट इज जनरली प्रैक्टिस्ड इन द ट्रॉपिकल एंड द सब ट्रॉपिकल रीजन्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। अब ये ट्रॉपिकल और सब ट्रॉपिकल में क्यों होता है? क्योंकि जो टी और कॉफी जो होती है ना, उसकी जो ग्रोइंग जो मतलब उसका जो जोग्राफिकल रिक्वायरमेंट है वो थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट होता है फॉर दी ग्रोइंग पर्पस। जैसे अगर हम जोग्राफिकल रिक्वायरमेंट की बात करते हैं तो जो आपका टी होता है उसको जो है टेम्परेचर 10 to 35 डिग्री सेल्सियस ही चाहिए होता है। रेनफॉल जो है 150 to 200 सेंटीमीटर्स रिक्वायर्ड होती है। और सॉइल जो है उसकी लूमी सॉइल होती है, जिसमें कि जो कि पोरस होती है, पोरस सब सॉइल होती है उसकी। अब ये पोरस सब सॉइल क्या होती है? इट अलाउज द वाटर टू गो इनसाइड टू दी रूट्स। पर जैसे आपने देखा होगा टी और कॉफी कल्टीवेशन है, जनरली इट इज डन ऑन दी स्लोप्स, है ना।
यस मैम।
ये स्लोप्स पे क्यों होता है? क्योंकि देखो एक तो हिली एरियाज जो होते हैं उनमें वहां पे पानी की अवेलेबिलिटी जो रिक्वायरमेंट जैसे है वो रहती है, और स्लोप होने की वजह से द वाटर डज नॉट रिमेन इन द रूट्स फॉर अ लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन। जैसे जैसे पानी स्लोप्स पे से नीचे आता है, इट कीप्स गोइंग इनसाइड दी रूट्स, तो वो बहुत ज्यादा जो है पानी रूट्स नहीं लेती है, ठीक है। आप अगर आप किसी चीज में पानी भर के रख दोगे तो वो रॉटन हो जाएगा ना, सड़ जाएगा ना, उसमें स्मेल आने लगेगी। तो इसीलिए ये जो स्लोप्स होती है यहाँ पे रूट में जो है पानी स्टोर नहीं करती है ये, बट दे नीड इट फॉर देयर ग्रोथ। इसलिए जो स्लोप से पानी गिरता है, इट इज क्वाइट हेल्पफुल फॉर द कल्टीवेशन, फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ द टी एंड कॉफी प्लांट्स, राइट। राइट बेटा?
ओके मैम।
चलो,
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है।
Okay, ma'am.
Plantation cultivation. See, when we talk of the plantation cultivation, we say that plantation cultivation involves tea, coffee, rubber, banana. Bananas. Have you been to South? South में, केरल में अगर आप लोग गए होगे तो आपने देखा होगा या पढ़ा होगा कि साउथ में बनाना की जो है बहुत ज्यादा कल्टीवेशन होती है। Have you heard this?
Yes,
बनाना
ma'am.
एंड कोकोनट।
And coconut this.
हाँ, कोकोनट तो होता ही होता है, पर बनाना भी बहुत ज्यादा होता है, ठीक है। तो ये बनाना, रबर, टी, कॉफी, दीज आर ऑल प्लांटेशन क्रॉप्स, ठीक है।
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there are banana trees also in this way.
हाँ, बनाना ट्रीज आर ऑल्सो देयर। चलिए, now this plantation cultivation is carried on, large estates are there, and these large estates that we have, it requires lot of manual labor intensive इसको हम बोलते हैं। Why it is labor intensive? Because more of manpower is required to pluck the soft and the tender leaves that we have on the tea plants, because टी प्लांट को पूरा तो हम कट नहीं करते हैं। ये प्लांट्स जो है, टी जो प्लांट्स है, ये लगे रहते हैं थ्रू आउट द ईयर, और इन्हीं में से इन्हीं लीव्स को जो है प्लग कर करके उनको ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इनको यूज किया जाता है फॉर मेकिंग टी लीव्स, राइट?
Okay, ma'am.
चलिए,
Yes, ma'am.
then coming to the mixed farming, when we talk of mixed farming, we are actually talking about the cultivation of crops as well as the rearing of the animals. ठीक है, अब ये mixed farming जो होती है इसमें intensively जो है land को use किया जाता है. अब intensively क्यों use किया जाता है? Because both crops and animals are grown over here. Animals are reared and crops are grown, and this mixed farming is generally carried out in those countries, those places, which those regions of the world which are developed, highly developed, right?
Okay, ma'am.
All the modern machines are used for the cultivation purposes. Then crop rotation, I think in science you have read about crop rotation.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what this crop rotation is practiced so that the soil fertility remains. Okay. Then coming to the pastoral farming. This pastoral farming, as the name suggests, where this is done in those regions or those areas where the pasture lands are easily available. Now, what are these pasture lands? Do you know, class? Am I audible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
These pasture lands are basically required so that the animals which are reared, they can be fed on these pasture lands. Now, all the grasslands of the world, the temperate grasslands as well as the tropical grasslands that we have, the pastoral farming is carried out in those areas. In this pastoral farming, exclusively rearing of livestock is done, rearing of cattle is done. Those animals are reared which can give you flesh, which can give you fur, which can give you milk and the milk products, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Then the areas where this pastoral farming is done, where the animals are kept, they are called as ranches. What are they called? They are called as ranches. right?
Ranches.
Ranch.
Yes, ranches. Then in the land area that is reared, like in India, if we talk about the fodder crop, India में fodder crop कौन सी होती है आपको पता है?
And the one which is used for feeding and livestock.
Yes. Maize is considered as a food fodder crop for the animals, right? Fine, Bhavya.
Yes.
So this there in the temperate grasslands or the tropical grasslands that we have, the alfalfa is the fodder crop that is used for the animals, right?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
It is alfalfa, right? Alfalfa is the fodder crop that is grown. Now coming to the dairy farming. What is this dairy farming? Can you tell?
Ma'am, breeding cows, ma'am, taking
Ma'am, breeding of
cows and buffaloes.
Animals will give milk.
Ma'am, rearing animals which can give milk.
Yes. See, the dairy farming is that practice where the animals that give milk are reared, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, how many of you watch National Geographic? Do you people
Ma'am,
watch?
yes, ma'am, sometimes.
Yes. There is a program.
Sometimes.
Abhi to I have not watched it for quite a long time, so I don't remember the name of that program that I used to watch on National Geographic. It used to show, these modern farms of, developed countries, especially America and all, where, how the animals were reared, how machines were used to, obtain the byproducts from them. So it was a very interesting program. All sorts of things were shown in that. But then this episode which showed about these machines which were used for obtaining the byproducts from the animals, like there were machines from which the fur was taken away from the sheeps. Then there were certain animals where the flesh was processed. Several things that they were showing, but then everything used the machines. Manual labor.
Ma'am, a sound is coming. Yeah, a
No.
beep sound.
that is a alarm sound actually. That is alarm sound. Chalo. This much is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me share the link for the next class. Just a minute. Done. Okay. Dairy farming, it is rearing of dairy cattle to produce milk and the milk products, right? Now, these farms, because these are all modern farms, so all the modern machines are used for obtaining everything, like manual. Generally, you must have seen, people, manual labor being involved in getting the milk and other things. But then there, in these farms, pastoral farming, which is done, all modern machines are used and the milk is extracted through the machines only. So manual labor is not very much, but then yes, manual labor is required to maintain a large manual labor is required. Large scale manual labor is required so that the cattle could be taken care of. Machines are there for other purposes, but then the bathing part and the washing part and other things that are there, that is taken care by the manual labor only, right? चलिए, coming to the orchard farming. Orchard क्या होते हैं आपको पता है?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, fruits looks like oranges.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, there.
grape, paper, ma'am, the paper plants.
Yes. See, beta, orchards
Ma'am,
are
paper plant.
orchards are basically the farms where fruits are grown. Where fruits are grown, right? आपने पढ़ा होगा एप्पल ऑर्चर्ड, मैंगो ऑर्चर्ड, कभी इंग्लिश में आपने
Yes, ma'am.
पढ़ा होगा ना? तो ये
Yes.
ऑर्चर्ड्स आर बेसिकली दोज प्लेसेस वेयर द फ्रूट्स आर ग्रोन. जैसे हम एग्रीकल्चरल फील्ड्स बोलते हैं, जो क्रॉप्स, जो वीट, आपका वीट, राइस और जो जहाँ पे ग्रो होती हैं, तो ऐसी जहाँ पे फ्रूट्स की फार्मिंग होती है उनको हम बोलते हैं ऑर्चर्ड्स, right? So these orchards, there are different types of orchards where different fruits are grown for commercial purposes. You must have seen, the world has, because of the transportation and the communication advancement and the technologies that we are using, world has become a global village, right? World has become a very small place. So like if I talk about 20-30 years back, people had no access to the fruits which were grown in various other countries where it was not possible to bring those fruits to India. But now in the present time, if you see, after 30 years, it is possible to get everything from every corner of the world to a country. अगर हम इंडिया की बात करते हैं तो there are various countries, मतलब extremes of the areas we have, but वहाँ से भी we are able to get the variety of fruits that are produced over there, right? Can you give examples of such fruits which are not grown in India, but then the availability is very high?
Ma'am, avocado.
I'm apples.
Avocado, okay.
I'm apples.
Apples to India में भी grow होते हैं. Please, Utkarsh.
No, ma'am. I thought ma'am means the grown quantity might be less.
No.
Ma'am,
But yes, green apples. Apricots. No, we grow apricots, but then there are different varieties.
Ma'am,
of,
yes, ma'am. Now I remember, ma'am. Apples are mostly grown in, I think, ma'am, Jammu and Kashmir areas.
Himachal, beta, Himachal, Jammu.
Ma'am, date palms.
Date palms. नहीं बेटा, date palms इंडिया में grow होती हैं.
Ma'am, blueberry.
हाँ, blueberries. I'm कहा बहुत सारे fruits हैं, बहुत सारे blueberries हो गए, आपकी green apples हो गए. Apples, no doubt, हम अपने country में भी grow करते हैं, but जैसे Washington का एक apple होता है. हाँ, different fruits varieties हैं जो कि अलग-अलग.
Apricot.
जी बेटा, आयुष, you are saying something?
Ma'am, apricot.
हाँ, apricots हम इंडिया में भी ग्रो करते हैं, बट हम बाहर से भी उसको लेके आते हैं. क्योंकि बाहर की जो क्वालिटी है इट इज लिटिल डिफरेंट इन कंपैरिजन टू व्हाट वी हैव इन आवर ओन कंट्री। ठीक है, जैसे एप्पल्स फ्रॉम वॉशिंगटन, ठीक है, फिर आपका कीवीज वगैरह वर नॉट इजीली अवेलेबल 15-20 years back, but nowadays you can find kiwi everywhere, right? कीवी पहले बड़ा एक्सक्लूसिव
Yes,
हुआ
sir.
करता था, ठीक है। फिर एप्पल्स की जो वो वेराइटीज विच आर कंट्री इज नॉट ग्रोइंग, दे वर नॉट आल्सो इजीली अवेलेबल, बट आज की डेट में अगर आप जाओ तो दे आर इजीली अवेलेबल, बहुत ही इजीली यू कैन गेट देम। ठीक है, बहुत सारे ऐसे फ्रूट्स हैं जो कि बाहर की कंट्रीज में ग्रो करते हैं, हमारे कंट्रीज में हम उसको ग्रो नहीं करते हैं, बट स्टिल वी हैव द अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ दोज fruits in our country because of the developed transportation that we have. Okay, right class?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Chaliye.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now this
So, ma'am, it is found in E states.
in the
E states.
what are E states? Estates, large areas, estates. You mean to say this, no? Estates.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, large land areas, of course large land areas are covered for the orchards. ठीक है,
So, ma'am, orchid farming is mainly in estates.
orchard farming is done in the estates also. ठीक है, like we have tea
Okay,
estate.
ma'am.
नहीं बेटा, एक बात सुनो, orchards are not grown on the estates. Estates are very large land areas, बहुत बहुत huge land area is required for the estates, especially for the tea and the coffee growing. ठीक है, लार्ज ये एस्टेट्स में नहीं ग्रो करते हैं, इनको हम आपको बता देंगे। ठीक है, चलिए, नाउ कमिंग टू दी मार्केटिंग, मार्केट गार्डनिंग एंड दी हॉर्टिकल्चर। हॉर्टिकल्चर, एज आई टोल्ड यू, all fruits, vegetables and flowers are grown. The main purpose of growing fruits, flowers and vegetables together is that so that there is an easy availability within the local markets which are there. Plus flowers are grown. आप देखो, Calcutta is considered to be the huge market for different flowers. Have you heard of this? अगर आप देखो इंडिया में मैक्सिमम जो बाहर के फ्लावर्स हैं, they are like transported from Bengal to other parts of the country. वो इसलिए क्योंकि बंगाल में जो है आपके जो पोर्ट एरियाज हैं वहां पे इजीली जो है इनको इंपोर्ट किया जा सकता है वहां से। तो आप देखो, जिबेराज होते हैं आपके, ग्लैडुलाज हैं और ट्यूलिप्स वगैरह हैं, बहुत सारे जो ऐसे फ्लावर्स जो कि हमारे कंट्री में ग्रो हम नहीं करते हैं, बट बाहर के कंट्री से हम इंपोर्ट करते हैं। ठीक है, राइट क्लास?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
चलिए, quickly let us have the reading from commercial agriculture till the orchard farming. चलो, who will do it? Can we have Vidushi? Acha, wait. Can we have Utkarsh reading it?
Actually, ma'am, excuse ma'am.
Yes,
Can you hear
beta.
me?
हाँ बेटा, yes, I
Ma'am,
can.
I am out for 2 days from some.
Okay, so you don't have the book, right?
Yes, ma'am.
चलिए, so can we have Payal reading?
Yes, ma'am. Commercial agriculture. Agriculture done with the aim of selling the product and earning profit is called commercial agriculture. There are different types of commercial agriculture practiced in the world. First, extensive agriculture. It is common in regions where there is abundant land and very sparse population, particularly in the mid-latitude grasslands, that is in the prairies of North America, the pampas of Argentina, and the steppes of Eurasia and the downs of Australia. The land holding are very big in size. The farming operations are fully mechanized and there are very few human laborers. Fertilizers are not used to great extent. A very important feature is specialization in one or two crops. What wheat is the most important crop. Other crops are corn, barley, oats, rye, and cotton. Total production from the farms is very large, but per hectare productivity is low.
Next,
Second, plantation.
wait. Can we have Bhavya reading plantation agriculture?
Yes, ma'am, just a second. Plantation agriculture. This type of agriculture is most practiced in the tropical and subtropical region. It was introduced by the European nation who had colonized these countries. It is a commercial type of farming with specification of a single crop. The farms are huge and are called estates. A large amount of capital is invested and the farming methods are efficient. Machinery and fertilizer are used wherever required. A lot of manual labor is required and skilled labor is often imported. The crop is processed before being sent to the market for sale. The estate are well connected to ports and railheads. The entire agriculture system is scientifically managed like a factory.
Okay. Can we have Vidushi reading now?
Yes, ma'am.
Read beta. Mixed farming.
Mixed farming. In this type of agriculture, crop cultivation and animal rearing are practiced on the same farm. It is very common in the developed parts of the world, that is, the eastern part of North America, Western Europe, Russia, Australia, and New Zealand. The farm size is moderate and farming is done intensively. The use of modern machinery, improve seeds and chemical fertilizers ensure a high yield. Crop rotation is practiced to retain the soil fertility. Farmers grow cereal crops like wheat, maize, and barley, along with the root crops like potatoes, turnips, legumes like peas and beans, and fodder crops like alfalfa.
Alfalfa, yes.
They raise cattle for beef and sheep for mutton. Pigs and poultry are also kept.
Fine. You continue, Vidushi. Pastoral farming.
Pastoral farming. It is the commercial rearing of livestock like cattle, sheep, and goats for meat, milk, wool, hides, and various other products. It is practiced in the temperate grasslands, the prairies of the USA, and the pampas of Argentina, the wild of South America, and the steppes of Eurasia, and the downs of Australia.
Okay, fine. Fine. Wait, Vidushi. I think the meeting is going to end any minute. So remaining part we'll do in the next class, next week, right? Till then,
Okay, ma'am.
all of you, see you all tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello. Okay, beta. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next Friday we'll meet, huh?